Hello indie game fans, it is once again time to look forward to the next month in indie games with just 4 months left in the year, and with the release of Madden today, signals the start of the fall or autumn game season with a number of absolute bangers and long in development titles coming up in this video. Let's begin with F.I.S.T. Forged in Shadow Torch, a Metroidvania entry starring a rabbit wearing a mechanical arm going on a quest to fight oppression in order to save his friend. It has one of the most impressive 3D environments, combined with the fantastic action and multiple attack modes for the arm, means that combat is sleek, stylish and looks very satisfying, making it a no-brainer pick for the month, although I still don't know what the title refers to. A game that got many people excited at E3 2018 was Sable, an exploration title where you go on a rite of passage, passing through a wondrous desert landscape. The highlight has to be the art style, looking similar to the works of French artist Mobius, but to see these rendered in real time is pretty impressive. The animation of the character is also interesting, looking a little stop-motion-y, although I'm not quite sure if that's the right term to use, but it's a beautiful game for sure. Like Omno covered in yesterday's video, it looks like a gorgeous exploration title along the lines of Journey, where parts of the enjoyment is just seeing the world with the occasional puzzle thrown in to keep things interesting. Still, for how long it has been and that many people have been looking forward to this, it gets a spot. A smaller title that got the attention of many during the Steam Next Festival is Web, a fantastic platformer title where you play as a cute little spider, but the web physics in this are particularly impressive. You're on a quest to save your boyfriend from a mean old bird, having to adventure through the world in order to do so. But this new trailer reveals what looks like a level select screen, so at least we know the structure. Gameplay seems varied enough, with a skateboarding level shown off in this trailer and should be a neat, smaller title. One of the biggest announcements over the past month is Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye, the DLC to the time loop adventure game that did win many Game of the Year awards in 2019. This trailer is intentionally vague, with the developers being likewise in interviews, but if you enjoyed the base game, it's one to watch. I just mentioned Metallic Child in my video on upcoming roguelites that I'm excited about, where I'm happy to report that it launches next month. As a sleek and stylish action title, where you play as an android, taking on other such creations from your own creator, where each is known as a Metallic Child. The top-down roguelite action looks great, adding things like jumps to avoid attacks and even grabbing enemies to use as shields, making it one of interest. There are also additional perspective shifts, including a side-scrolling boss fight and even shoot-'em-up sections, which means plenty of variety and is a cannot miss for roguelite fans. One more long in development title makes the list with NYKRA, a pixel art sci-fi exploration platformer that I've been keeping an eye on. This developer's Twitter account is an interesting follow, where, as far as I can tell, this project has been a very long time coming, to the tune of something like 8 years, so I do hope it works out for them. Gameplay-wise, there's platforming, puzzles, a lot of lore and even some combat, so it does look Metroidvania adjacent, although the developer doesn't explicitly say it is one. It's an existential story about the many layers of the human mind, tackling the subject of aimlessness in life, of drifting and wandering as you try to find meaning and purpose, conveyed through a sci-fi story that seems interesting. My fear is that it may be a little too niche due to the heavy subject matter, but fingers crossed it's good. If you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of the farming sim since it can be such a cozy and chill experience, where one less chill entry is Kitaria Fables. While the core farming elements are still there, it's in service of fighting a rising darkness in the world, where your cat protagonist has a sword, bow, and spells at its disposal to be used in combat. Still, it's an interesting mix of ideas which gives me a little bit of a fantasy vibe from the 3DS, so of course it has my attention, and if you do love that game like me, smack that like button to show your support. We finally got a release date for the very long in development pixel art action platformer Flynn Son of Crimson, where I played the demo of this in November 2017, so it does bring back some memories since it was in the early days of this channel. Needless to say, the pixel art is one of the most impressive that I have seen, with some sweet looking action as well, although you do go on a stereotypical quest to save the world. Still, for how long it has been and for how good it looks, this gets a great spot on the list.
The race of rats has prospered for many centuries. Peasants toiled, kings ruled, and the world knew peace.
Another title just mentioned is Tales of Iron, a fantastic hand-drawn action platformer where you play as a rat, heir to the throne, which was taken when the Frog clan invaded, so it is up to you to fight your way through. Like Banners of Ruin, again covered in yesterday's video, the use of animals in a game like this is very intriguing, bringing up some uncomfortable questions about what they do for food, but I suppose killing and consuming your enemies is part of this grim-dark medieval world. What is not shown in this trailer is that there is a full-on equipment system, a Souls-like combat system complete with dodge rolls, parrying, and executions, 6 biomes with their own hidden paths and secrets, as well as brutal boss fights, so it might be like Salt and Sanctuary, which makes this of interest. Of course, the long-anticipated pixel art action-adventure game Eastward makes the list, one of the most visually impressive games that I have seen, finally getting a release date during the Indie Direct last week. It's set in a world on the brink of collapse, where humanity has been forced underground due to an increasing toxic presence on the surface, and it is here where our unlikely duo try to find their way in this world. a gruff old miner finds a mysterious amnesiac young girl, moving onwards with the hopes of a brighter future in returning to living in the outside world. The action and puzzles look like your standard Zelda fare, including things like bosses and a variety of weapons including both a flamethrower and frying pan. The intricately detailed world is beautiful and does give off a little bit of an Undertale vibe due to the setting, making it a highly touted prospect, taking the number 1 spot. For more action-adventure games, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.